Here we have today's project, and if you stay tuned till the end of this tutorial, I have a nice bonus for you. So let's get started. So our work is going to have two steps. The first step is to create the necklace band, and it's this part, and then to create the scallops, the scalloped fringes. So let's start with the first part. We need a stopper bead, and let's say that we are going to use black 11/0 for the necklace band, and we are going to use the snake chain technique. So for this you can go and check more tutorials on the description below, or we can quickly go over it just now. So the stopper bead will be used as a guide. We know that where we have the stopper bead, there we have the bottom of the work. So we pick up 5 seed beads, 2, 4, 5, and we create a loop by going back through the first one like this. And then we continue with our snake chain. When we have the seed bead, the stopper bead at the bottom, that would be the bottom up sequence. So we pick up 2 seed beads, skip one that's after the thread, and go up through the next one. And then we have the bottom down sequence that we have to pick up 3 seed beads, and we go down through the next seed bead. And that's all to it. So we have here, we are at the bottom, so this means that we just pick 2 seed beads, skip one, go up through the next. We are at the top now, opposite side of where the stopper bead is, and we have 3 seed beads and go down through the next. And this way we just create the length of the necklace that we need. We just repeat these 2 steps. We make sure that the thread, it has a good tension and in the same time stays flat. So just control well the tension of the thread. If you make a mistake, you can undo and go back. 1, 2, 3. And this is the thing that you always have to check. Where is the bottom of the work? So where the stopper bead is. And then if you are at the bottom, you just add 2. Skip one after the thread and go up. And if you are at the top, you pick up 3 and go back down through the next seed bead. That's all to it. And when we are at the end of the required length, we need to make sure that these beads that stick out, we count them, and they have to be a multiple of 4 plus 1. So let's count these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the next number that is a multiple of 4 would be 16, plus 1, 17. So we need to create another this would be another sticking out bead. This would be 16. Then 3 for the top, and this would be 17. So here at the bottom where we have the stopper bead, we have 17 beads, sticking out beads, which is multiple of 4 plus 1. Now that we have created the base of the necklace, the length we need, we start creating the scalloped fringe. And for this we need to move the thread from this bead to the first sticking out bead in the direction from end to start. So for this I usually use a seed bead to turn the direction of the work that will hold the thread. Okay, and now we are working from end towards the start of our work, and for this we create what I call the cross. So we have 3 seed beads and create a loop by going back through the first sticking out bead. Now I'm using for the fringe some contrast seed beads in red, and we pick up 8, 2, 4, 6 and 8, and the black one. So here we have 8 red, 1 black. Now we count the 3 sticking out beads, 1, 2, 3, and go through the 4th. And here we create the second cross by adding 2 black seed beads. We go back through the last 2 black seed beads and through the first. So it's like going around in the loop. And here we have the second cross. Now we pick up 8 red, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 black. We skip 1, 2, 3 of the sticking out beads, go through the 4th, and now we create the cross by picking up 2 seed beads, go back through the last 2 black seed beads that we have added, and then we close the loop by going back through the first seed bead as well from these 2 that we have just added. And we continue like this up to the last sticking out bead that we should finish with a cross. Here we start the second row of our scallop, and the first thing that we have to do is to extend what I call the cross, and for this we just pick up 3 seed beads and go back through the bottom seed bead of the previous cross. Okay, and then we move our thread forward in this seed bead, so we can actually start working back. For the second row of our scalloped fringe, we need to pick up 10 reds, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 10 reds and 1 black. This is the sequence of the folded fringe. We go back through the bottom bead from the next cross, and here we finish the cross by adding 2 seed beads, go back through the 2 that we have added, and then we move the thread forward through the next seed bead. Again, for the next scallop, 10, 4, so here I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, plus 1 black. We go through the bottom bead from the previous row's cross, and here we finish this cross. We add 2 black seed beads, go back through the last 2 that we have just added, and then we move the thread forward through the next seed bead from the cross. Here we have the last sequence if we are at the end of our necklace. The last sequence for the second row of 10 plus 1, and we are using again the bottom bead of the last cross. We finish the cross of this row by going back through the 2 black seed beads, and now we move the thread round to the bottom seed bead. To start the third and the last row of our scallops, at least in this design, we create again the starting star. We add 12 plus 1, 12 reds plus 1 black, and then we connect it to the bottom seed bead of the star that was created in the previous row. So let's start with the starting star, 1, 2, 3. Because we have only 1 seed bead, we have obviously to add 3. And as soon as we have the cross, the star, I use both names for this 4 beads element, and we have to move the thread to the next seed bead so we can do the work in that direction. And now we just add 12 threads, 1 black, and we connect it to this bottom seed bead from the previous cross. So we start with 12 threads, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So here I have my sequence for the third scallop, and we connect with the top of the cross, and now we have to finish the cross, and for this we add 2 seed beads, go back through the last 2, and move the thread forward in the next seed bead from the cross. And we continue up to here with 12 threads, 1 black, connect to the bottom seed bead of the cross. Here we have the last sequence in the necklace with 12 and 1 black. We connect to the bottom seed bead of the last cross. We finish this cross by adding 2, go back to and this is actually how the pattern looks like at the end of the 3 scallops. We just need to add the clasp, and here we have our necklace. And here we have our first designer bonus idea, and here I am using these beads that I think they are called dagger beads. I'll have in the description below exactly what their name is. And in the last fold, in the last scallop, we just replaced 2 central seed beads with this dagger, let's call it. And for this we have to put 5 seed beads, 1 dagger, 5 seed beads, and 1 black. And we just continue the same way. Just imagine how pretty is this on around the neck. Very pretty. Another option would be to add the dagger as on an extension on the same line with the crosses, but on an extension. So this would mean that we just finish here a cross, and before we move with the work forward, we go down and create an extra cross. And this extra cross will have the dagger at the bottom area. So we have to add 1 seed bead, the dagger 1 seed bead, and we finish the cross. Now we need to move the thread here to continue our scallops. So we'll do just this, going around this first cross and then going back up. So we just move the thread up. Okay, and with our thread coming up the normal way, we continue adding another scallop. This is our tutorial for today. Let me know which version you prefer best, the dagger on the crosses line or the dagger on the scallops. Thank you for watching. See you soon with our next tutorial.